We are live.
Okay.
வால்யூம்
கம்மியா இருக்குது கோகு.
வால்யூம் கம்மியா இருக்கு கோகு.
வால்யூம் கம்மியா இருக்குங்களா? ஓகே, ஒன் செகண்ட்.
ஆமாங்க.
Is it okay? ஓகேவா?
இன்னுமே கம்மியா தான் இருக்குங்க.
சரி, ஓகே, நம்ம தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து போயிடலாம்.
ஓகே
சரி.
அங்க யூடியூப்ல ப்ளே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னா அதை ஸ்டாப் பண்ணிருங்க. எக்கோ ஆகுது. வச்சலா டு யூ.
ஓகே. உங்கள் அனைவரையும் அட்லாண்டா மாநகர தமிழ் சங்கத்தின் சார்பாக ஆர் யூ ரெடி ஃபார் த ஹை ஸ்கூல் இவெண்ட்டுக்கு வரவேற்கிறோம். இங்க வந்து நம்மளோட யூத் கமிட்டியோட அட்வைசரி பூங்குடி விஜயகுமார் இருக்காங்க. நம்ம கேட்ஸோட சேர்மன் ராம்கி அண்ணா இருக்கிறாங்க. நம்மளோட ஈவெண்ட்டோட கோஆர்டினேட்டர் தேவி செல்வகுமார் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அவங்க எல்லாரையும் இந்த ஈவெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்து வரவேற்கிறோம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வி வில் ஸ்டார்ட் வித் தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து. கோகுல் நீங்க
எல்லாரும் எந்திரிச்சுக்கோங்க. அது சிறந்து திருநாடும் சிறு பிறை முதலும் கருப்பினரும் திலகே வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் தமிழனங்கி உன் தீரிழமை திரும்பிய பெயர் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதே.
கோகுல், ஆக்சுவலா ஆடியோ ரொம்ப லோவா இருக்கு கோகுல்.
ஆமாங்க கோகுல்.
ஓகே ஓகே,
அதை பத்தி பார்த்துக்கங்க.
பார்த்து.
உங்கள் அனைவரையும் அன்புடன் வரவேற்கிறோம். பூங்குடி நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றீங்களா?
கண்டிப்பா. தேங்க்யூ வச்சலா. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். நான் பூங்குடி விஜயகுமார், 2021 யூத் கமிட்டி அட்வைசரையா இருக்கேன் இந்த வருஷம். இந்த யூத் கமிட்டியில மிடில் ஸ்கூலுக்குன்னு கிட்ஸுக்காக ஆர் யூ ரெடி ஃபார் ஹை ஸ்கூல் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் ஈவெண்ட்டை வந்துட்டு பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு டிசைட் பண்ணப்போ லாட் ஆஃப் கிட்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி தேர் ஷோன் தேர் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் அண்ட் தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் எவ்ரி ஒன், ஆல் த கிட்ஸ். ரொம்ப நன்றி. அண்ட் இதுல ஹை ஸ்கூல் கிட்ஸ் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு 6 பேர் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்றாங்க. அவங்க வந்து அத்வைத், நேஹா, ஜெய்ஷ்ணவ், சமிகா, அஸ்வின் and Kirstena. So they will show their middle school experience and how you can prepare yourself for high school. So when I requested Mrs. Devi Selvakumar to help kids on this event, she immediately actually accepted. For our request and worked with our kids for the past 2 weeks. She made them to ready for this event. Actually, she is counselor for Fulton County, and I'm happy to welcome Mrs. Devi Selvakumar. இந்த ஈவெண்ட்டை வந்துட்டு அவங்க ஃபுல்லா ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணி இந்த நம்மளோட யூத் கமிட்டிக்காக பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், நம்மளோட யூத் கமிட்டியோட கோஆர்டினேட்டர் மிஸ்ஸஸ் வத்சலா அரவிந்த், அவங்களுக்கும் என்னோட தேங்க்யூ சொல்லிக்கிறேன். அவங்க தான் இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமை வந்து அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், ஆக்சுவலி இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமை ஃபுல்லாக நம்ம இந்த நம்மளோட கேட்ஸோட சார்பில் நமக்கு அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணி கொடுத்த நம்மளோட பிரசிடென்ட் மிஸ்டர் சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்களுக்கும் அண்ட் சேர்மேன் அண்ணா ராம்கி அண்ணா அவர்களுக்கும் இந்த சமயத்தில் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி சொல்லிக்கிறோம். அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், ஆக்சுவலா உங்களுக்காக தமிழ்ல இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் வேணும் அப்படின்னா ப்ளீஸ் வந்து அந்த சாட் விண்டோல வந்துட்டு உங்களோட கொஸ்டின் ஆன்சர் செஷன்ல போடுங்க. அண்ட் அதுல வந்துட்டு எல்லா ஆன்சரும் உங்களுக்கு வந்துட்டு நாங்க பண்றோம். அண்ட் ஐ வுட் லைக் டு இன்வைட் நிகிதா குந்த் டு ஸ்டார்ட் திஸ் ஈவெண்ட். தேங்க்யூ. நன்றி.
Hey guys, today, thank you, Punguri Auntie. We will be talking about, are you ready for high school? So let's talk about today's agenda. First, we had our introduction to the session. Second, we will have Devi Auntie talk about the introduction, and all the speakers will tell us about their experience. And we also have a Q&A session and the ending speech by Mr. Ramki Uncle. You might be wondering who I am. Hi, I'm Nikita Kuntu. I'm a sophomore at South Forsyth High School. I'm a coder, artist, dancer, and a competitive chess player pursuing engineering. Let's go on. I introduce Miss Devi to talk about the high school speakers and their experience.
தேவி நீங்க வரலாம்.
Thank you, Nikita. I would like அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். Good evening all. I'm very glad and I'm very excited to be part of this event. And thanks to GATS Youth Committee, Mrs. Vatsala and Mrs. Pungudi, Mr. Swami and Mr. Ramakrishnan for this wonderful opportunity, and all the executive committee members for this wonderful opportunity. So we are going to have a wonderful session here. I'm sure, you know, like a lot of middle school students and the parents are very eagerly waiting to see so what to expect in high school and how to prepare yourself in the middle school. So like Nikita said, the first part of the session is going to be a presentation that I will do, and then followed by the panelists who will come and introduce themselves, and they will talk about their personal experiences in middle school and how it is helping them in their high school, followed by the Q&A session. Without further delay, I will go ahead and get the program started. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready for high school? So to tell about me, so I'm an independent college counselor, and so I'm not working for any school. I'm just, you know, like independently consulting, and I'm helping high school kids to smoothly transition to college. And the topics, the various topics that we are going to cover today is, first of all, we are going to address the middle school students and how to engage in the middle school, and what kind of different extracurricular activities that the middle schoolers can do, and what kind of soft skills that they can develop. And next, we are going to address the parents. How can the parents address, support the kids? And then we are going to talk about the high school transition. How does high school GPA matter? And you know, like how does this transcript contribute to the overall journey? And how the middle school credits will be transferred to the high school? And what is the Georgia high school graduation requirement? And how can you select a course? And you know, what is the dual enrollment and versus virtual school, honors versus AP courses? I know this looks like a lot, but we are going to basically, you know, don't get overwhelmed by the amount of information. We're going to basically make you aware of all these terms, so that the kids and the parents, you know, like when they enter the high school, you are, you know, like all ready. So here we are, the middle school students. So those who are transitioning from 5th grade, so who are graduating the elementary school and moving to the middle school, also who are in 6th to 8th grades. You know, like, so you are the perfect, so you are in the perfect middle school world. And for those who are transitioning, yeah, your world is completely going to change. Changes, I mean, psychological, hormonal, physical, and the transition from elementary to middle school. Like so far in one class, maybe you are sitting in one class and all the teachers are coming and teaching you in the same class. Whereas in middle school, when you go to the middle school, the entire culture and the, like your habits, everything is going to change. And there will be a lot of focus on social media, whether we like it or not. And especially after all this COVID situation and everything started, most of all your virtual classes are going online. So you are actually, like a lot of time, like most of the middle schoolers are in social media. And you will be going through, this, so many people might have talked to you about this, the peer pressure, the bullying, cyberbullying. These all terms you might have heard in the elementary school, but in middle school, this is a time where you are going to hear this more often. So you need to make yourself ready, like how to face all these, circumstances, whether expectedly or unexpectedly, whatever comes on your way, how are you going to handle it? So in order to handle all these challenges, what do I need to do? Like one may ask, one middle school student, like you can come and ask, you need to find out what is your strength and what is your weakness. Suppose, like the big pressure is, like making a good friends group and then moving along with them. Yes, I completely understand, but it is also moving with the right group. If you ask any high school student or any college student, they will definitely tell, yes, you need to be with the right group. And so this is a time you need to explore, like what is my strength and what is my weakness. And for any case, please don't ever hesitate to reach out for help. Like for you guys, it may look like, I know even the kindergarten students, they will come and say, I know how to do it. Mom, I'm a big kid. Don't tell me all these things. Yes, we completely understand. But in case of unexpected situations, you should be able to reach out for help. And that is the wisest thing to do. And you should be knowing that, right? And you should definitely keep up with your schoolwork. So these are all the things which you are already aware. But in the middle school, this plays a major role in your day-to-day life. How to engage yourself in the middle school? Okay, so now so far, so you have gone to all the classes that mom and dad have signed you up for. Now this is a time, go ahead and diversify your interest with gym, arts, and music classes. Academics is not the only thing that you need to concentrate. At the same time, as a college counselor, I would never say, don't put your academics behind. So that is the number one thing. Wherever you go, like in middle school, high school, college, wherever you go, that is the number one thing. But at the same time, you should be able to explore the other fields also and try to develop some strong study habits and time management skills. So that you will find it very useful, like when you go to high school and try to take multiple classes, trying to run here and there, trying to manage your schedule. So if you start developing, your own study habit and trying to manage your time very well, then the high school is no big deal for you at all. Do well in your school and standardized test. So here, so you may be, taking Georgia standardized test, and in your school, the whole, like your quiz. So everything is going to be a little bit different, the way it is going to show up on your transcript and the way the tests, the quizzes are conducted and the assignments are given to you and the homeworks are, graded. Everything is going to be a little bit different. So, but try to do well, try to develop that, like a practice in your middle school and explore various after school clubs. I know, like in the past 1 year, since most of you are taking virtual classes, you don't have much opportunity to explore the after school clubs. But soon, like the situation will be, like it is improving, and like all of you will be able to go to school. Try to explore different school clubs. Here, you are not trying to achieve, like if I enroll myself in an art class, I am not trying to excel or I am not trying to enter a competition. And I'm not trying to prove the number one. Instead, I'm trying to explore, like, am I good in drawing? Am I good in music? Try to explore your different interests. You may never know, like later on, when you are joined by, like our wonderful panelists, they are going to come and share their music and art skills with you, and you will be amazed. and get involved in your school. So what does that mean? That means connect with your teachers, peers, and like student volunteer-based organization. So this is, like you may think, I know, like as a middle schooler, like being a girl or a boy, like I know the peer pressure. People will come and say, oh, you are teacher's pet. Like try to just push all those comments aside, and whatever you feel like it is right, just go ahead and pursue that. Okay. So if you feel that you are very much, like you are very good in English and language arts, like try to talk to the teacher and find out what else, like you can do in that particular field. So can you excel, like can you take it to the next level, or can you participate in any competition? Like how, like what kind of different books you can read. So these are the different things that you can talk with your teacher and try to find out, and talk to your friends who has a similar interest also, right? And when if you are in 7th grade or 8th grade, now look for a high school program that best fits your interest. So this is another major criteria, because like a lot of magnet schools are there, and a lot of STEM schools are coming up nowadays. A lot of private schools are there. So like most families, they try to make a transition, like from middle school to high school. So at that time, try to find a high school program that best fits your needs. It's not because of like somebody else, your friend's daughters, like going to a different school. Since because like they are going there, you don't have the pressure to go and join that school also. Please don't do that. But at the same time, if you are particularly excelling in math and science, if there is a magnet school close by, try to go ahead and explore. Like if that best fits your interest, and research about how to get in there. So you need to be aware of like the deadlines, and so what kind of requirement is there for application. So for some of them, it is just the online application. For some of them, you need to write the essays, and for some of them, you need to write the teacher recommendation. So whatever it requires, like try to be ahead of the game and try to explore it and find out. And also, I know this may be too soon to explore different careers, but at the same time, what you can do as a middle schooler, you can just discuss with your parents. First of all, I don't know how many of you know exactly what your parents are doing, right? I mean, what your mom is doing. Yeah, maybe they are in IT field, they are in management. Then and then you need to find out what kind of job description they have. What is their day-to-day activity? Try to find out more. And try to, so I know, like when I talk to a lot of kids, the first thing like they come up and say is, hey, this is something I don't want to do. From 9 to 5, I don't want to get locked up in a cabin and, sit there and code all the time. So you guys are best in just, trying to figure out, so what best you can do, what best you don't want to do. So, and if it is so, try to ask your mom and dad. Start with your parents and try to ask them, hey, mom, like what kind of education you have done. So nothing harm in asking, like your family, friends. Try to explore, and this is the time. So what kind of different extracurricular activities are there? So Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America. This is something that is not part of the school, but a close by church, mostly, like it's run in the church by the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. So when you reach out to your school counselor, they may be able to guide you, or your family friends, they may be able to help you also. Band, orchestra, chorus, this is another field. If you are interested in music, try to figure out an instrument, or if you are good in vocal, go ahead and, like explore the chorus. Sports, if you are good in sports, like basketball, soccer, go ahead and figure it out. Or chess, indoor chess, like go ahead and try it out. Speech, debate, oh wow, this is something very natural. You all middle school students are naturally talented in this, like nobody has to teach you guys. And debate, speech, oh, we have to learn from you guys. So go ahead, why not? When you have the natural talent, why don't you just go ahead and enroll yourself and try to see, take a particular topic and try to argue in that and see how good you are. Or if you have something that you need to work on, go ahead, do that. This is the best time. And if you are good in science, in math, okay, go ahead and join a team. If there is a science Olympiad team that's going on, because it's so much fun. It's a team event. You get to join with your friends, and you get to spend some time outside of the classroom. I'm telling you, kids whoever has joined, they completely enjoyed all these events. And so if you have a good academic standing, then you will be eligible for the teachers nominate you for NJHS, National Junior Honor Society, and you get to stand in the election for the student council also. And Future Business Leaders of America, there are a lot of schools which have this a club, and HOSA is another one. If you like the healthcare field, Model UN, again, if you are a social studies person, or if you are interested in politics and trying to learn about different countries and social activities, this is the best place to go. Science fair, again, if you are a science person and try to research, then this science fair is for you. So there are a lot of competitions that people will go. Even not for the sake of competition, go ahead and explore on a topic and try to present it. You will learn a lot of skills from these. Volunteering. Okay, here we are. You are all part of the GATS youth committee. Maybe you are not. Try to go ahead and talk to people who are already part of it and find out what can you do. Because you have a lot of free time, and whatever best you can do, go ahead and contribute to the society. And you guys can ask me, Auntie, what is the soft skills you are talking to us? We are just in middle school. This is something highly undervalued, in the professional world. Professional world, people definitely know how much important of each of these skills are. But at the same time, if you slowly develop all these skills in the middle school itself, it's very good for you, because right now you will start, contacting with your teacher. Then how to contact with your teacher properly? Yes, there is a definite, format that you need to follow, right? And so try to learn that, try to run through your parents first, and then try to send it. And if there is any mistake, try to correct it. How to talk to an adult properly, how to give them respect and talk. Try to learn that, right? And how can you solve a problem? Nowadays, the team skills that really matters a lot. You need to develop those skills. You may be good in a particular field. For example, I may be good in math or science, but what if I don't know how to work as a team? I am not going to succeed, because the whole world is, completely working in teams, right? So I need to slowly learn how to do that. Start in a, very basic level, and you can move forward. Creative thinking. Hey, if everybody is choosing a particular way, how about I can do something, think something differently. Try to think about that, even in your math problem. If everybody is, following, A to Z, whatever the teacher taught you, go ahead and try something new and figure out whether you get the same answer. If that is okay, you are definitely unique. Okay, decision-making skills for small things. Okay, I know you need to get the advice from your parents, but try to, make a decision and try to find out, whether you are good in that, right? Try to develop some intrapersonal skills. Leadership skills, again, volunteering in places. You may be starting at a very basic level, but very soon you will, climb up the ladder. Again, as I tell you, the panelists who are going to join us later, they're going to come and tell you how they move from, basic volunteering to the leadership level. And always try to carry a positive attitude. Okay, listening skills. This is something, put it on the, back of your mind. So whenever it is applicable, try to make use of that. How to stay organized. Guys, slowly you are getting, you are entering the middle school world, and later on the high school world, and then college. So staying organized is very important. So what can I do? So you can use your academic planner, the agenda, which is given in your school, or you can have a calendar in your room, and you can mark, everything, whatever is coming up, right? And you can have a dry erase board. These are all very simple to do things, but this can really help you to stay yourself focused and to keep yourself ahead of the game. And locker organizer, I've seen a lot of students just dump everything in their organizer. Parents just teach them, give them a hand. and how to stay organized, like in their locker. So then only they don't have to, because they have to run in between the classes. And so even in the binder, keep different dividers, and use different color code, and keep a weekly schedule and a daily schedule, and try to come up with a good homework system. So this is what I tell the kids all the time. See, when you are sitting for your homework, please dedicate your time only for doing your homework. At that time, don't ever look into your social media, whatever is coming, please keep it aside. But when you are on the social media, okay, don't do your homework. Okay, so try to allot that time for different things. And this is a time you need to develop your note-taking skills, like a Cornell, outlining, mapping. So whatever the school suggests you, go ahead and start taking that slowly. Even if the school, the teachers are not advising you, slowly start taking that. So you will be, pretty much an expert when you come to the high school. And also, always don't mix up this. I tell the kids all the time, don't mix up your playtime with your homework time. If it's study time, just concentrate on your study. If it is playtime, just go ahead and play. Okay, this is for the parents. How can I support my middle school child? See, for everyone, we are not an expert, and there is no one formula that is going to fit for everybody, right? And there is no written book that is going to give a step-by-step instruction on how to deal with our kids. We may be having 2 kids, 3 kids, both the boys, but still, we all, the kids are all different, okay? So we have to deal with every kid differently. We need to know that at this time, definitely they are going through physical challenges, okay? Changes, emotional changes, and mental changes. And ages 10 to 14, it's very, very crucial period in their life. We have gone through that. We know that, but our situation was different. Like some of the parents who were brought up in India and came over here, the situation was different. But here, we need to be very much educated about this, and we need to support our kids. And so what are the things to watch out for? So as early adolescents, they have very much a lot of concerns about their body image and appearance. They often face rocky emotions. They are rebellious. Peer pressure will be there. So low motivation. And, nowadays, this is a big thing that's going on in school, drugs and alcohol. You may think like, hey, what? My son or daughter is too young. I don't want them to be educated about this. So even if our kids are, so not going to get into this, or, they are not educated about this, they are going to be exposed to, all this. Okay. So it's better to get them educated. If you ask me, that's what I would say. And just enjoy them. So they can be funny, curious, okay? And they are very imaginative. Just sit and talk to them. They are really very funny. And our young teens, they may run into bumps, but not boulders. Okay, definitely keep it in your mind. You may think that, you know what, I am alone in the boat. I am the one who is suffering. I am the one who is going through all this, challenges. You aren't alone. We all are on the same boat. One or other, we all are, going through the same problem. And help your child develop some good study habits. Be there for them and help them to prioritize. If there is a test coming up, if there is a party that you are trying to organize at the same time, please try to check with them. And so, when you say, so this is something I tell the parents all the time, you set clear boundaries. Nowadays, we try to go beyond our boundary, and then we try to call ourselves, hey, I don't want to be a parent. I want to be a friend. Yes, you be a friend. You are everything to them. You be a friend. At the same time, don't forget that, you are their parent, okay? The kids need to understand that and keep an eye on their grades, right? You don't have to constantly monitor, but you need to know, how they are doing in the class. If they have any difficulties, then how to support them, how to, give a hand to them. And talk to your child, what is their interest? They don't have to decide a career or anything right away, but just try to talk to them and start saving for college. This is something, we all need to do, early on. I know a lot of, parents who have, face very tough time. like the kids may be very good and they are, like ready to go to a very good college, but the parents may not be ready because, like financially they are not, like up to the speed. So try to explore what works for you. 529, savings bond, Roth IRA, mutual funds, whatever, like is like that you can do. Go ahead and explore. There are a lot of financial planners, lot of workshops are freely available. Go ahead and try to find out. And also FAFSA, studentaid.gov, they have a lot of resources for parents to explore. Go ahead and explore that. So these are all the questions. So always, this is a strategy, like when we talk in the counselor circle, this is what, we are often told. Instead of blaming the kids and instead of blaming anybody else around us, how can, I stay myself educated about, what is going on around me? How is my child, facing any kind of challenges, changes between 10 to 14, and how can I communicate with my child? I have two boys, both are completely different, they are like North Pole and South Pole. Whatever I worked with my oldest son, I'm going to practice the same thing with my younger one. And when I entered his world, he completely said, no, mama, I'm completely different. Okay. So we need to, we are here. Okay. And we are facing, a lot of challenges. And this may be your first child that you are trying to give them, and we all are trying to give them the best we can. So when we are trying the best, then I need to stay myself completely educated. That is what, in the counselor circle and in the parent circle, we talk all the time. How can I better educate? What's going on around my child? What is going on in the school? Be a part of that. Even if you don't take a lead role in your PTA, it is completely okay. Be there, and I try to find out what kind of things are going on. Let me tell you very honestly, when I walk into the, with my oldest son, when I walked into the high school for the first time, my heart completely came to a stop. Okay. I was completely, shaken when I walked out of that high school because I saw boys and girls, hanging around freely. For me, the experience that, the vision that I saw, what I saw was exactly what we used to see in our college. Okay. But just remember this. Our kids are seeing this day to day in their day-to-day life, in their middle school, in their high school. The culture is totally different. And let's be aware. Walk into their school, okay? Go and drop off some lunch for them. Be a part of their life, okay? And if they are not confident, if they lack, any strength, or if they have a weakness, then how can you help them? How can you make them more confident, okay? And I don't have to interfere. I definitely don't advise you to interfere in each and every part of their life. Okay. But I need to know what kind of friends he is hanging around with. This is really, really important. I don't have to know exactly, what they are doing on a day-to-day basis, but I need to know what kind of, friends my son or daughter is having. Okay. And how much, the media is having an influence on my child. I need to know, and you need to educate them. When they post any pictures, on the social media, there are, again and again, the school counselors are talking to the kids repeatedly about, cyberbullying and so many things. Repeatedly, the workshops are happening. For the kids, it's really overwhelming. But we need to, in a friendly manner, I need to play the role of a friend, and I need to tell them, hey, this is all the consequences that can happen if you don't, if you are not careful, okay? And, what is the best way to stay involved? Okay, go ahead and drop off lunch for your son. Maybe take a very slight volunteer role in the school and try to, maybe you don't have to even go to the school. Try to find out what other mothers are talking. Be active, how can you help your child in middle school? That is again a big thing. The kids will drop their, most of the kids drop their reading habits. Then how to, boost them up with a successful reading habit? That is another thing. How can I motivate my child? And every family, even though we all are from, India, we all have different family values that we want our child to pursue. So how to cultivate that in your children? How can I tell? And what can I do? This is the thinking we should have, like us as a parent, rather than telling them, hey, this is what you need to do. Okay, please, let us change our mentality and say, how can I help you? If we start, rewiring all our thinking, you are going to see a big difference in your child's life. Just believe me on that. Okay, our middle school is done. Now here, I'm going to give you, just expose you with just the highlights, okay? Just quickly some highlights about what to expect in high school. Okay, so when you come to the high school, so you immediately, the first thing that everybody is going to talk about is college. What kind of college you want to go? What is the major? What kind of passion you have? This is the thing repeatedly everybody is going to talk. As a college counselor and as a parent, I had been through, my oldest son is working right now, and my younger son, he's a senior and he's about to start his college life. I can tell you this, it is not, when they are in middle school, we're already talking about high school. When they are in high school, we are already talking about, what to do in the college. Just let them live their life. Okay, let us be prepared. Let us be aware. Hey, these are all the things that really matters in their high school. Okay, let me be ready to all this, but this should not consume my child. Okay, this is something every parent need to cultivate. We all need to cultivate this in our mind, as well as we need to cultivate to our child. So at the same time, when I tell this, back in India, most of us got educated in India, only one exam, our 12th grade exam, or whatever exam that we have done, that only decided the rest of our life, what major that we plan to do in our college. But here it is not like that. Academics is not the only thing. Academics is part of that. It is number one things though. Okay, it is number one thing though. This you might have seen in the session that they have done 2 weeks back about how does a GPA count towards your college application, your class rank, your percentile, everything. But yes, GPA is the number one factor, but it is not the only factor. Okay, so yes, they need to be academically, they need to be proficient. At the same time, there are other factors. You want your kid, and students, who all are attending, please note that, you should be a well-rounded person. So that is what they call it as holistic. Okay, so when they call the application the holistic review, that means you should be well-rounded. None of the colleges want to see an individual person with all talent. Okay, they don't want the individual talented person. Rather, they want a team player. This is in the corporate world, in the professional world. This is a term they use. But in even the college admission, they want a team player. How was that? Okay, so I told you GPA is the number one thing, and the class rank. So what kind of, in a school of 700 kids? Okay, if you are passing out in the top 1% or top 2%, most of the school, as per the Georgia policy, they are not going to declare that. But when you are about to apply, in your 12th grade, they will definitely announce the valedictorian, that is number one, and the salutatorian, that is number two, as well as they will tell you if you are in the top 1%. For that, you need to talk to your counselor and try to find out. Sometimes they may come and say, hey, you are in the top, 5%. They will come and say, try to find out that. And if the school doesn't have a policy, you don't have to worry at all. So when you take the classes, your course rigor, that definitely matters. Your transcript is going to show this. They have discussed very brief, in the previous session, the course, all the courses that you have taken from 9th grade to 12th grade, it is going to be shown on your transcript. And so the colleges are going to see what are the courses offered in your school, okay, versus the courses you have taken. What does it mean? For example, your school, for example, I will say Milton High School, okay, they are offering honors, AP classes, IB, and dual enrollment classes, okay, and also on-level courses. And they will see how did you take your classes? Is it kind of, upward trend? Is it showing you have you proceeded from the progress from the on-level classes to honors classes to the AP classes, or like how is your progress? Or maybe you have taken IP classes, AP classes, and you have dropped down to the on-level classes. So the colleges definitely like look into that. So the best strategy is move, like start slowly, start on level, but move on higher. Okay, show a upward trend. And if you are taking any AP advanced placement classes or international baccalaureate classes courses, the scores in each and every exam that matters, and your SAT and ACT scores. A lot of the colleges are coming test optional, but still that is still counted as one of the academic accomplishment. And some of the Ivy League schools, they will call for the interviews also. This they will do only during your college application. And again, for the college admission, your recommendation letters. So for this, you need to have a good rapport with your teachers as well as counselors. And the essays, again, they talked very briefly during the last session about how much essay matters in your college admission process. And so here are some of the things that like you may be good in. Okay, so what kind of internship experience that you have? Okay, this is something we all worried when we were in college. Okay, but here in high school, they are looking for internship experience. They are looking for whether you have nowadays. Kids are even publishing papers when they are in high school, whether you have done any research project or you have done any work. Okay, for example, I'm sorry, you might have worked in the library, or you might have worked in Chick-fil-A, or you might have worked in McDonald's, or I'm sorry, you might have worked in a physician's office. Anything, whatever experience that you have, like that definitely counts. And what kind of awards you have, what kind of leadership positions have you taken? This is very, very important again. And the extracurricular activities, like after school clubs, like after school, whatever you do, that definitely matters. And the service projects, like if you are a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, your Eagle project or your Gold project, or even if you're not Scouts, like the service projects and volunteering, everything matters. Okay. So like I said, GPA is the #1 factor, and 9th to 12th, it is cumulative grade point average. And some of the schools follow on a 100-point scale. Some of the schools follow 4.0 scale. And again, there are weighted and unweighted GPA. Don't, if you are a middle school parent, don't like overwhelm yourself. Slowly, you will understand that. If they take advanced classes, there will be an extra weightage that will be given, like a bonus point that will be given to the courses that they are taking, that will be added to the scores that the kids are taking. So that is called the weighted GPA, and unweighted means the like the weightage is, if you take out the weightage, then it is unweighted. Okay, and always try to have an upward the trend. Try to pay attention in that. So again, so this is something you are going to hear more often. Major, career, what is a passion? Okay, you don't have to right away decide, but try to explore, starting with your parents, like your family. Try to look around what they might have studied, if they are a doctor, because like back in India, if you have to become a physician, the requirements are different. But here, like the college journey that you have to go through, that is completely different. So you need to find out, what it takes, like to end there, if you know what you want to do. So again, like these are some of the things the transcript is going to show: all the courses and the course rigor, okay, and the honors versus AP versus IB courses. And mostly this AP and IB, these are like considered as a college level courses. And so the work in these courses are like extremely at the college level, and the kids need to work a lot. And also they need to take an exam by the end of this. And when they get good scores, like they will get, when they get into the college, like they don't have to take certain classes depending on the scores they have in the AP and IB exams. Okay, and challenging workload without compromising your grade. That is very, very important. So how does it compare when a student has like 100 or 101 GPA with all the on-level classes versus a student who has taken AP classes, IB courses, honors classes, and he has a 96 like 0.0. That is a GPA that he has. This student who has taken the AP classes, he is valued high in the admission process compared to the one who has taken the on-level classes. So again, you don't have to push yourself to take all the higher level classes, but the thing is, if you are capable, if you can handle the workload, that's it. If not, it is completely fine, slow and steady. That is the mantra you need to keep in your mind. And if you're on a like STEM PLTW pathway, then go ahead and take the STEM courses. So what do I mean by that? For example, if you want to get into Georgia Tech Engineering, this is one of the hidden requirements that the committee sees, that whether you have taken AP Calculus BC as one of the high school courses, that they will look into the transcript to see this. So make sure that you are finishing up, like your AP Calculus AB or BC by your 12th grade. And if you are interested in, like pursuing biology or math, whatever it is, try to take the courses, high school courses accordingly. And middle school to high school, the credits, yes, some of the high school courses can be taken in the middle school, and the credits can be carried over to the high school. All these credits will be shown up on the high school transcript. Okay. For example, Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Physical Science. Sometimes they may take AP Government. Like some of the Fulton County schools are letting the students to take that. And I know a lot of kids take foreign language. Like, for example, Spanish 1, they take that. You will get credit in your high school. It will be showing up in the transcript, but it won't be counted towards your GPA. So this is for you to be informed about, like how they handle the GPA and all. So whatever courses that you take, okay, whatever grades that you are getting for the high school courses in your middle school are not going to be counted towards your CGPA in the high school. Okay. Okay, so this is the high school graduation requirement. So regardless of whatever high school courses you are planning to take in your high school, okay, so there is, like a set of classes that you need to take to graduate, to get a Georgia high school diploma. So this, you may not be, the counselors may be talking about this, and they will make sure that you are taking 4 math classes during your high school, during your 4 years, 4 language arts credits, 4 science credits, 3 social studies, and 1 health and PE. Let's have semester each, and CTAE, again, your electives are fine arts. Okay, and 4 electives. Okay, so this is this comes to 23 credits. So for you to get a Georgia high school diploma. So by default, some of the classes are core classes, and you need to take it. You don't have a choice in there. So where the students will get the leeway is when you take some of the high school courses in your middle school. That way, you are kind of advanced in your curriculum, and you will have some space to take explore some other classes, right? So here is what. So in the career pathway, every school, like most of the schools, they have the career pathways. So in the elective, so you have an option to select if you are toward healthcare field, or like if you are interested in programming, you can take the particular career pathways. Okay. For example, so University of Georgia. So every college, they have like a set of requirements. Okay. So even though Georgia high school diploma covers the basic requirements, like University of Georgia, for example, I have shared this. Okay. So English, 4 units. It's the same as a Georgia requirement. Math, again, 4 units. In that, like Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry should be there. Okay. And Science, 3 units. Okay. And at least 1 science with a laboratory course. And Social Science, this is all must. Okay. US, World Studies, like you need to take it. Foreign language, they need to see at least 2 units. Okay. In the high school. 2 units of a world language. Okay, so maybe 1 you might have taken in middle school, and 1 you might have taken in your high school. But as per Georgia, like requirement, you should have finished 3 world language requirements. Okay, now here, look at this. The catch is Stanford, they are looking into 3 or more years of world language. Okay, and Harvard, definitely they would like to see 4 years of world language during your high school years. So this kind of differs from college to college. Okay, so that's why if you know what you want to, well, which college you want to know, like in advance, this kind of helps you to decide on the courses. Okay, and another example is California's state schools. Wherever you apply, they need at least 1 year of visual and performing arts, like in your transcript. That means it can be an arts course or it can be a music course. 1 year of 1 credit of that, like in your transcript. So that means before you enter your high school, make a 4-year planner. Okay, try to come up with a rough estimate of, like what kind of possible classes that you can take. Okay, and your counselor can help you, like your parents or, like any high school students, they can definitely help you with all these kind of things. And dual enrollment versus virtual school. And this is something, getting very popular over the period of in the past 2 to 3 years. These have become very popular, especially the dual enrollment classes and the virtual schools. The thing is, the schools may be offering the same courses in their high school, but that student, your student, may prefer to take it in the community college. So this dual enrollment is something where, like a college course or a high school course that you take in a community college or, like in an established university. Again, it is online, like sometimes you may have to go in person also. And nowadays, kind of, I'm seeing this in Fulton County. It may be different in other counties. It's a kind of trend that's happening, that kids are finding it kind of fashion, kind of a cool thing, to take it in the community college, because there they can get the grades very easily compared to the grades they get in the high school. Okay, like they will come up and say, hey, you know what? All the colleges accept, like the DE credits, the dual enrollment credits. That's not so. That's just a myth. Like not all the colleges accept dual enrollment credits at all. And check whether dual enrollment classes interfere with your high school curriculum. Okay. And there are some state virtual school and county virtual schools are available. You all know this, like very well, because since the pandemic started, so, like a lot of virtual schooling is going on. And summer virtual courses, again, like a lot of kids, what they, there is a big rush, like among the kids to take, courses during the summer. For example, they will say, hey, for me to take AP biology, I need to finish my chem during my summer. Okay, please, my like advice, if you ask me, and this is not looked good, this is not looking good in your college application at all. Don't rush with your academic courses at all. Especially the summer is only meant for a short time. It's at the most you are doing the classes for 5 weeks or 6 weeks, and you cannot learn a 1 year syllabus in those 5 weeks. You are not in a hurry. Okay, high school is meant for learning and making a very strong foundation. So don't be in a hurry. Please don't do that. Okay, and definitely it's not recommended for science with lab. Okay, also math. Please don't rush for that, because you are laying the basic foundation, which is going to help you in your college. Okay, honors, AP courses, and IB. Okay, so on level, and like after the on level, next advanced is honors classes. Okay, and after that, AP and IB, they come under the same category. Some of the schools do provide the IB courses. That means in your junior and senior year, you need to select a track and you need to take the classes in the particular track. Okay, and AP, some schools, you can start taking it from your freshman onwards. Okay, so it depends on the school how you are getting recommended. But all of them have some prerequisites that you need to like get some grade in a particular subject for you to get qualified to take AP or IB courses. Okay, and IB diploma. So when you take the IB track, when you finish at least 3 IB courses, so you will be able to get some college credits. Okay, based on your college scores. Okay, sorry, your exam scores. It is not, if I take the course, I will automatically get, like a college credit. No, definitely that's not the case. The same thing is with the AP also. Not all the colleges accept your AP exam scores, and they will ask at least So the score scale is from 1 to 5, and they will give you, if you have 4 and above, 4 and 5, then the colleges will give you credit. Sometimes if you have greater than 3, they will give you credit. That means you don't have to repeat the same class in your college also. But sometimes if it is less than 3, they are not going to give you any credit. Okay, so in the rush of like loading up yourself with a lot of APs, don't lose your grade. Okay, also don't compromise your learning at all. Definitely please don't do that. Okay, and if there is one thing, like in this, like a kind of everybody is kind of trying to make this look kind of fancy, and they are making it as kind of very commercial market. When the kids are in high school, like they need to get into this, that, then only you can get into a certain college. You might have heard from this in the past session from a lot of kids who went to college. It's not the end of road. It's not the end of road. At the end of your high school journey, as a mother, I have done that, and as a parent, parent to parent, I would tell you, when you look back, like on their journey, you should see, like how much they have grown over the period of years. Okay, it should not be, like how much, like my child's profile is looking at the end of the high school career. Please, yes, it need to look good, but at the same time, how much is my son or daughter is capable of? How much I can push my child or daughter? What is the strength? What is his strength? What is her weakness? How can I help them? It is a journey that matters. Okay, not the profile. They can develop that anytime. Believe me, just believe me. Like you will be hearing this from, like a lot of parents, like who have older kids. It is a journey that matters, not their profile. Okay, and all of our kids are wonderful kids, and they will shine no matter what. Okay, and kids, for you, enjoy your life, enjoy your high school journey, explore and try to find out what are you best at. If you have a weakness, if you have something that you need to work on, go ahead, help the kid, get the help from your mom and dad. Mom, I need to work on my coding. I need to work on my music, so try to explore. This is your time. Okay, go ahead and enjoy, and like wishing you all the best. Okay, and here I conclude my session. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, please go ahead and post it, like in the chat if you are on Zoom call, or if you are online, like watching live on YouTube, please go ahead and post that. And if you want me to explain for any of your questions in Tamil, please don't hesitate. நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு தமிழ்ல எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றதுல ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன். ஸோ அதனால யாருமே வந்து ஹெசிடேட் பண்ணாதீங்க. இட்ஸ் அ லேர்னிங் திங். ஒரு காலத்துல நானும் உங்களோட ஷூல இருந்தேன். அதே ஷூல தான் நானும் இருந்தேன். எப்படி நடக்கணும், எப்படி இந்த குழந்தைங்களோட இந்த காலேஜ் லைஃப் எப்படி ஹேண்டில் பண்றது. Like I also had a very tough time. I was in your shoe, so I completely understand. Okay, just go ahead and post your questions, and we will come to that after. So this is the highlight of our session. So we are going to be joined by 6 wonderful panelists. Okay, and I will introduce them one by one. And so I'm going to call them, and they are going to self-introduce themselves, and they are going to share their middle school journey with you all. And if parents and students, if you have any individual questions for anybody, please note it down, and you can post it on the chat session. Okay, thank you. And let me go ahead and share. Can you see the screen now? Can you see Advait's slide now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, awesome. Can I invite Advait to the panel discussion?
Hello.
Hi, Advait.
Okay, I guess I'll start off. My name is Advait Kumar. I'm a sophomore at Walton High School. So here's a little bit about me. So far for leadership positions, I'm right now a student government class rep. So basically handle everything going on in my homeroom class, regarding, events going on in school, volunteering and whatnot. Some accomplishments for me, I've traveled the country playing in cricket tournaments. I played cricket since I was in Chennai. So I lived in Chennai for 10 years. So I played in places like St. Louis and Houston and, here in Atlanta, obviously. So some awards for me, I was in a principal's honor roll for all A's in middle school. Um, and GATS hosted a tournament in 2019 for cricket, and my team won that. And in middle school, I also won the spelling bee. Some extracurriculars, obviously cricket and violin. I've been playing since I've been in sixth grade. So I've been in my orchestra for about, let's see, 5 years now. It'll be 5 years after my sophomore year is complete. Some volunteering and certifications. I started volunteering for MedShare for GATS just now in March. And since I'm part of student government, I volunteer at all school events. Some tips coming from me. So in middle school, I didn't really take my grades very seriously because there was always this, the thought going around that grades in middle school don't matter, only in high school it does. Well, that can be true, but it's like your mindset that you have with that thought, it carries on with you. Because I can tell you from personal experience that carried on with me through freshman year, and I realized, how important my grades were for my GPA. So, it can be true, but I strongly recommend you have a mindset, that grades are very important, even if you're in sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, whatever the case is. So, that, and so from eighth grade, a little end of eighth grade and, beginning of freshman year onwards, I started taking my grades a little seriously. Even though COVID did dent my grades a little bit, because of online learning, I still have the same kind of work ethic that I follow is, I don't procrastinate, and I used to procrastinate a lot, leaving my assignments till late in the night, 10, 11 o'clock, even midnight. So once I get home from school, the first thing I do is finish all my assignments. I strongly recommend you do that because you don't want to procrastinate. And at the end of the day, when you have absolutely no energy, you're not going to do any work, and your assignments are going to be late. That affects your grade. So I strongly recommend you don't procrastinate. You just get to your assignments and you finish them thoroughly. So that's it for me. So focus on your GPA, and one more thing is concerning the PSAT. It's the same thought of middle school grades regarding to the PSAT, that PSAT doesn't matter. And it's the opposite, because it does really matter, because one, you get to see where you are before you take the SAT. So you really want to make sure you do your best in the PSAT just to know where you can improve. Because once you get your scores back, College Board will tell you where you can improve and how you can improve. And for the studying for the SAT, I strongly recommend you do the Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a very good SAT prep program. It gives you all these practice tests and lessons. So yeah, that's it for me.
Great. Thank you so much, Advait. It's a great piece of information that you have given us, the work ethic and the mindset that you develop during the middle school. That is going to help you do throughout your high school. And beautiful thing about the PSAT that you have told, it is going to help you towards your SAT preparation also. Thank you so much for the resources. And next, we are going to have Neha Wilson.
Hi, everyone. My name is Neha Wilson, and I'm a sophomore at Lambert High School. So my experience throughout middle school was kind of interesting because I went to 3 different schools throughout middle school, which was a lot of adjusting because each school had a completely different environment. And so basically in 6th and 7th grade, I went to Fulton County schools, and in 8th grade, I moved to Forsyth County, which was pretty challenging because a lot of my classes were a lot harder than I was used to. So I had to work a lot harder and focus a lot more. But I was able to do it with the help of my friends and amazing teachers, and of course, my parents. But 8th grade was also the year that I found my passion in healthcare. In 6th and 7th grade, my schools didn't offer CTAE courses, which are basically career pathway courses. And so I wasn't able to have any experience in any specific pathway. So in 8th grade, I took the healthcare course and I found my love for medicine. So I joined HOSA and I've continued that in high school. So a leadership position I hold right now is I'm a committee member of an organization called MGOCSM in my church, and I help plan and organize events for the youth in Atlanta and in the Southeast region as a whole. So we do different events like Bible studies and different charity events. Some accomplishments I wanted to mention, I got selected after 2 rounds to participate in the talent show in 6th and 7th grade. In 6th grade, I did a solo dance, and in 7th, I did a dance with my friend. I was also recognized as a prolonged member of junior beta in 7th grade. Basically, I was the only 7th grader who was a 2-year member of junior beta, since I was a member in 6th grade at another school. I was also selected for the Orchestra Honor Clinic in 6th and 7th grade. So basically, selected students get to go to a university or a high school, and we just get together. It's basically just different kids from different schools in the same district, and we practice pieces, and then at the end of the day, we perform those pieces for our parents. Some awards I've gotten, I got the Principal's Honor Roll from 6th to 8th grade. I also placed in different Science Olympiad events in 6th and 7th grade. I also got the Citizenship Award in 8th grade, which was kind of surprising for me because only 2 people from each team get it, and I was really not expecting it. Some extracurriculars I do, I dance. I've been dancing for a while now, almost 9 years. And I've continued that throughout high school by joining my school's Bollywood dance team. I've also, like I mentioned before, I'm in orchestra. I play the violin, and I continued that in 9th grade, but I wasn't able to do it this year because of COVID and the different classes I wanted to take this year. I also play badminton, table tennis, and tennis for fun with my friends and family. Some places I volunteer. So I volunteer with this organization called NGF, Next Generation Focus, and it's a nonprofit organization who helps kids who are not as fortunate as us or have enough resources. So I got to tutor kids from 4th to 7th grade, and that was really fun and educating for me as well. I've also volunteered at MedShare and different events HOSA and Junior Beta offered. That's it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Neha, for sharing your middle school journey with us. That's really inspiring. Next, can we have Jaishna Vijaykumar?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jaishna Vijaykumar, and I'm a junior at Northview High School. My previous leaderships I've had in middle school were, I was the leader in my percussion in band. So I played the percussion in band, which is basically like drums, drum set, mallets, xylophone, instruments like that. I used to hand out like music sheets to all my members over there and teach them parts that they didn't know how to play. So that was my role. And then I was in the technology committee lead in GATS last year. We made flyers and things like that. And my accomplishments were I made it to All-State Band, the All-State Band competition in middle school, which is where like everyone in the state of Georgia gets to compete. And I also got a 2nd degree black belt in Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo for 6 years. In the first 3 years, I got my black belt, and then next 3 years, I got my 2nd degree. Other achievements were super honor roll and 10th place in chess competition. And then another one was 3rd place in Lego Robotics state level competition. That's basically where in middle school, we have Lego Robotics. So we like compete first we do county wise, then we go state, then we go national, then we go international. So like that, we made it all the way to state level and got 3rd place. And since it was 1st and 2nd place only for like the next round, we couldn't make it past that. But it was a really nice experience doing that in middle school. Another one was Science Olympiad. Science Olympiad was a really fun thing to do as well. You may have heard of it in middle school, even in elementary school, and it's also in high school. And also I've done other things in Thumbel school. I have graduated from Thumbel school in 7th grade, and I've also done a project that they give you in 7th grade of Thumbel school, which is the final year, where you have to make a novel using an organization called iPotty, and they help you make a novel. You have to write the novel yourself and then make the illustrations, and they turn it into a book and publish it for you. So that's what I did. Extracurriculars were cricket. I like playing cricket with friends. I'm also in the Northview Cricket Club. I love playing violin. I played since I was in 6th grade. I played for 6 years to 8th grade. So I played Carnatic violin also. Also, percussion, as I said, band, really fun experience. Actually, mentioning percussion, till 8th grade, I loved percussion from the start of my 5th grade year, where they showed me about band and which instrument you want to play in middle school. I chose percussion first because I was already used to playing the piano, which I already loved since elementary school. So I looked at the xylophone and thought that's my instrument. Got in, and then in 6th, 7th, and 8th, all through those years, I loved band so much. First semester of 8th grade, I got into the all-state band competition, which was really helpful. And I also got into the symphonic band, which is like advanced band in 8th grade, while there's another one called concert band, which is just like the on-level band in 8th grade. And second semester of 8th grade, I got into marching band in high school. So I was in 8th grade, but I played for the high schoolers in the high school nearby. So that was one of the things. So yeah, and then keyboard, as I mentioned, I learned the piano and keyboard in a very young age, and I still continue practicing it. And I also love programming. I learned Python in 10th grade, and I'm learning Java right now. Certifications in volunteering. Volunteering would be Beta Club. Beta Club is basically, it's in middle school as well. It's also continued in high school, where you get volunteering hours, and it helps colleges recognize how much you involve with your community. GATS is also there. GATS is basically, well, GATS is hosting this event right now. GATS is a volunteering program as well. It's where all people in the Thumbel community come together and have a wonderful time in many events. I volunteered at many events like the Pongal event and Diwali event in GATS as well. We got many volunteering hours and had a really fun time with friends. I made new friends and stuff as well. And I also did a programming bootcamp in GATS. I did this with Ashwin Kumaran, who's going to present later. Is going to present like 5th or 6th, I don't know. Well, yeah. So I did a bootcamp with him where we taught Python to kids. We had 4 days of teaching Python to many others who joined the session. So that was a fun experience as well. And I also volunteered in the Hanuman temple. Whenever I go there, I volunteer, sometimes even other temples if I get a chance, whenever I go there. So yeah, that's about me.
Okay, great. Jaishnav, it's really totally inspiring. Your music journey is totally amazing. And where you started with selecting an instrument, and you have gone all the way up to the all-state and marching band, you name it, you are already there. And hats off to your volunteering experience also. It's totally something that all the kids need to look forward to. Thank you, Jaishnav.
Thank you, Auntie.
Samika?
Hi, my name is Samika, and I go to South Forsyth High School, and I'm a junior there. So my middle school experience was a little different. I just moved to Georgia from New Jersey, so that shock of just moving out of state was a little much, but the curriculum here is also very different, so I had to adjust to all the classes here. And what I found very helpful was just making connections with teachers and joining clubs and being a part of that school. So, and then after middle school, what I did was I moved to Forsyth County, where I again had to go through the process of becoming a new student and making friends and all of that. So one thing I did to ensure that I have a good high school career is I joined a lot of clubs. One of those clubs was UNICEF, and I've been in that club since freshman year. And now I hold an officer position, which is very amazing because it's a club I'm very passionate about, but it also looks really good on college applications to have that leadership position. I also made sure to pick the right classes and and make connections with all my teachers. So what that earned me was a position as student ambassador, which means that I basically mentor all the freshmen that are coming in. And that was purely based on teacher recommendations. So it meant a lot to me to be a part of that team. Another thing I did in high school was I got to be a part of the cast in my school play. And it was not really something I'd ever imagined myself doing. I'm not an actor or a dancer. I've played music my entire life, but just being a part of that play was very challenging and it really pushed me, but it's something I'm very proud to be a part of. And that really helped me with my social life too, because that's something that you spend a lot of time with the same people. You rehearse from like 4 to 9 sometimes you rehearse for 12 hours on the weekends, sorry. And it's just something you bond with people really well. And that really helped me throughout my high school career. And then some things I did in middle school was I entered the reflections competition in the songwriting category. I've been vocally and trained my whole life, and I've also played the piano my entire life. So that really helped me. I went through the state levels, which means I won in my school and regional, and I won in my state level. I unfortunately did not place in nationals, but it was a really good experience and just being a part of that. I also entered the Honoring Our Heroes writing contest in middle school and I made it to the finals. And I was also an honor roll student because I made sure to prioritize my academics throughout middle school. Some extracurriculars I currently do is I'm a part of the National Honor Society, which is something you need to have a certain GPA to get in and certain volunteer hours, and you need to apply. And it's a more prestigious club, so I'm very glad to be a part of that. And I'm also in the Model UN. So Model UN is a club where you're a delegate for a certain country and you go to conferences throughout Georgia and you pretend to be that delegate and discuss important international issues. And that's really helped me make connections with other people, make connections with teachers. And it's just a really good experience to have. And some volunteering work lastly I do is I'm a GATS tutor. I do that every Thursday and Saturday. And I also volunteer at various GATS events. Like I volunteer at the backstage for the Diwali and Pongal events. And I work some like competitions that GATS has. And I've also had the opportunity to work at Amar Seva Hospital, which is a hospital in India dedicated to helping special needs children and who aren't as fortunate as us. So they provide free healthcare. So I've had the experience of working with the doctors and even the parents to make sure that the child gets the best help that they need. So that's just a little bit about me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Samika. It's great to see your varying talents from songwriting to acting and being an UNICEF officer to volunteering. It's a great thing to see. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Next, can we have Ashwin Kumaran?
Yes. Hello, my name is Ashwin, and I'm a junior from Northview High School. My middle school experience was definitely a little different than anyone else's because right in the beginning of my middle school, I just moved from India. So of course, due to the cultural differences between here and India, there was a lot of barriers that I had between being a successful student in middle school. The way I got past this struggle is that I found my own passion in programming and I used that passion to make relationships with other people. Some leadership positions that I have is that I was the co-manager of the programming team, where in this team, there are a group of students who are all interested in programming and they get together and have meetings and discuss programming thing and tips and tricks. And I was a co-manager, meaning I co-hosted the event, the meetings. I was also the lead volunteer of a food distribution group, who I will mention later on in the presentation. Some of my accomplishments is that I have won a state level programming tournament. I reached first place in that tournament. This is a tournament that I was enrolled in by my teacher in my programming class, where they recognized my excellence in programming, and they submitted me in this tournament where you basically had to do certain programming tasks within a certain period of time, and whoever did the most amount of tasks correctly wins the tournament. So I won first place in that tournament. Other accomplishments is that I won many swimming tournaments with other schools. I've been swimming ever since I was very little, I think second or third grade, and that passion carried on to my middle school years as well, where I participated in a lot of tournaments with other schools from my district, and I won a lot of them. Another one is that I've created several high-level programs with programming languages. And this is very important, especially when you're going to high school, because a lot of teachers in high school will actually value you going outside of the curriculum and doing something other than just, the homework that they give you and the essays that they tell you to write. This shows that you have passion for something, and they want to see that more than anything. Some awards that I have is that I've won several trophies for Taekwondo. My entire middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, I did Taekwondo, and I entered in several tournaments, and I won a lot of them. Some more awards is that I've won trophies from Thumbel Sangam for participating in Thumbel tournaments. These tournaments included things like poem recitations and book recitations, and I've won trophies from there as well. Another one is, alongside with my team, I've won several trophies for swimming. As I mentioned earlier, I swam for a very long period of my time, and I have awards and trophies showing my excellence in swimming as well. Extracurricular activities, I was an avid player of badminton. I used to play badminton. I still play, but I've been going rarely now because of the virus. I also enjoy playing cricket with my friends, and I love to program when there's free time. And I feel like this is a very important part of my extracurricular life. But I love to program whenever I have free time. And this comes in a lot of different ways, where I can there's a website called Udemy, which you can use to purchase different programming courses that you can use to increase your skill set. As Jaisnav mentioned earlier, me and him participated in a boot camp where we tutored kids on Python. And I also code in Java and C++ as well. Some certifications and volunteering experience that I have is that I have a Microsoft certification in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. I have a black belt in Taekwondo, and I have a certificate to prove that. I've also volunteered at many of my local temples, whether it be organizing events or distributing the prasadam, anything. I'll be volunteering at those temples. And as I mentioned earlier, I was the head volunteer of a food distribution group called Forgotten Harvest. Forgotten Harvest is a organization that will take produce items such as tomatoes, apples, and then ship them out to homeless shelters. And I did this as a part of a larger volunteering service called VT Seva. VT Seva offered this volunteering experience to me. And alongside with Forgotten Harvest, I have done multiple other volunteering services with VT Seva as well. So one takeaway that I'd like for you to take from my presentation is that you just need to find a passion, something that you're interested in, something that you want to talk about with other people, and that will automatically make you make more friends in the future as well. And those friends will help you as you move on to high school, because they are the ones that will always be by your side and help you whenever you need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwin. That's a great piece of advice that everybody should need to just follow on. And great to see a lot of your accomplishments and how you work to way beyond your academics on programming. We can definitely see you are very passionate about coding. And not only that, you are Taekwondo and you are volunteering. Great to see all your skills. Ashwin. Next, we have Kirstena Karishwaren.
Yes. Hi, everyone. This is Kirstena Karishwaren. I am a sophomore at Denmark High School. So my middle school experience was a little bit different as well. I have transitioned to 3 different schools throughout middle school years. Honestly, those years were really hard for me because, everything was new and I was kind of spacing out and stuff like that. And just a little bit of backstory. I did my 1st to 6th grade in India. And after I finished my 6th grade, I came to US and went to Fulton County schools. And that transition was the hardest for me because I really felt like alienated and I didn't belong. And there were cultural differences and educational differences, language differences, etc. And during those times, my parents supported me a lot, and I had the best teachers who understood my struggles and helped me adapt to these new changes. Again, I did have another transition during the middle of 8th grade, and I had to move to Forsyth County schools. And this transition is where I struggled with my grades a little bit because it was really competitive and challenging, and they changed my courses, etc. So but I did get through all of those with hard work and motivation. And moving to leadership, I am currently the state youth leader for the Ocean Climate Action Plan. This is an event that's happening statewide where the youth gets to talk about the ocean climate crisis to the members of Congress. And I have also applied for Green Cell board member as a board member, and I'm still waiting on the results to be announced if I got selected or not. And I'm really, how I got interested in these is when I read an article about where it actually says that how we need the earth, but the earth doesn't really need us, because all we are trying to do is destroying or harming the resources that are available to us. And that really motivated me to engage in these kind of activities. So and yeah, that's how I got interested to these kind of leadership positions. Some of my accomplishments in middle school years were getting accepted for Avid Student Representative and National Junior Beta Club. I think those are really prestigious because you have to have all A's in order to get in. And in Avid, I did learn a lot about organization, time management, grades, GPA, colleges, chores for colleges, and etc. So some of my awards that I got in middle school are Outstanding Student Awards and Principal Honor Roll certificates as well. For extracurriculars, I'm part of GATS and Green Cell. I'm not part of any other clubs right now due to COVID. Also, I volunteered for GATS, Green Cell, MedShare, Trees, Atlanta. I also tutored for GATS for the kids age 3rd grade to probably 12th grade for not 12th grade till 10th grade every Thursday and Saturday. That's going on. And I know just by thinking about all of these might overwhelm you. And during your high school years, you have to learn how to stay organized and manage your time wisely. And if not, it might be really stressful. And so plan accordingly. And hopefully we were all able to motivate you or inspire you just a little bit today. And usually the transition is the hardest part. But I know you will eventually get used to it soon. And if I can do it, guys, you can definitely do it. So good luck to everyone who are transitioning to high school, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Kirstena. That was a beautiful presentation. We got inspired by your love for nature, Ocean Climate Action Plan, and the Green Cell Atlanta. Thank you so much for inspiring us with your great initiatives. I'm sure, a lot of kids who are watching this are ready to, join your movement, and, best of luck for you. And, so that concludes our panelist session. I have to tell you all, I was very, very glad to work with this multi-talented kids. You might have seen in their presentation how they are honor roll principals, honor roll student, varying from that to, love for nature and coding, publishing a novel, and, volunteering in the church, how much time they are dedicating apart from academics. I'm really totally inspired. And so every time I do a session like this, I feel highly motivated that, apart from our normal day-to-day work, we need to do a lot, because at this young age, you kids are, really, really working very hard. And the beautiful thing about it is, you all are very talented, working very hard. and yet you are very humble, very humble. That is a takeaway lesson for us from this session. And with this, I am, handing this over to Nikita for handling the Q&A session.
Thank you, Devyanti. Thank you, all of the high school presenters. You guys shared a lot of valuable information. Again, please remember to enjoy high school. Don't always stress about academics. College is not just about like your GPA. You have more than just school. Explore your like interests and stuff. We will go into Q&A. If you have any questions, please fill out the flyer below. Auntie, the first question is, what is a IB and an AP course?
Okay. First I will explain about the AP course. So the AP course is a college level course. For example, biology, when they offer it in high school, there is on-level biology, biology honors, and then AP biology. Not all the schools may be offering, but some of the schools are, like most of the schools in Georgia, most of the schools are offering AP classes. That means the workload is going to be like that of the college level workload. So it is not just the quiz and like the assignment and the format is not like that. So apart from that, they need to work on their FRQ. Like they will do a lab. Like by the side in the honors level also they will do the lab. But this AP course is a college level course. Okay, and the workload is also more, and the content, which is taught in the class, this is also at the college level. So how can one get into the AP level course? There is a requisite for that. For example, to get into the AP biology course, you need to get, like a certain grade. For example, maybe 90 and above or 95 and above. It varies from school to school. Okay, from from biology honors class. And you should get the recommendation from your science teacher. Okay. So once you get there, like you are placed, you need to work hard. And so at the end of it, you need to give the AP exam. So this scale is AP exam score is from 1 to 5, depending on the score that you get. Not all the schools again take all the AP credits. For example, if a student is taking, like 10 AP classes, okay, he won't be getting credit for all the 10 AP classes in the college. Okay, so it depends on the score that you are getting, and also only certain schools give credits to only certain classes. Okay, so if you are like I explained, if you get a score of 3 and above, some of the colleges will give you like a pass on that biology class, biology course. They call it as 101, like in the college. Okay, that means you don't have to repeat that course. So whatever score you got in the high school, in your final exam, okay, in your final score in the AP class as well as your exam score, they will look at that and they will give you credit in the college. And IB, it is almost the same thing, but it's a different style and different format. And the IB is International Baccalaureate. Again, not all the schools, have this IB course. I think South Forest has that. And if you go on that track in your junior and senior year, you need to select a particular track. For example, if it is in business or it may be in language arts, you need to select that, and you need to take the IB course on that track. Okay. In your junior and your senior year, and when you satisfy the requirements, you will be given the IB diploma at the end. Again, depending, you need to take a exam, and depending on your exam score, the college will give you exemption for that particular course in their college. And again, it depends. So again, I told you, it is a myth that you need to load. The more AP classes you have, the better chances of you getting into Georgia Tech. Sorry, that is definitely a myth.
Thank you, Auntie. That was a really good explanation. Our next question relates towards summer courses. When is a good time to start the summer courses, and what courses are there? Need credit information, the use of the courses.
Any of the panelists would like to answer this question?
Okay, so summer courses are offered mostly by GAVs. So you can go into their website and you can check out their courses. They do not offer any AP or IB courses, so that's something to know. Yeah, they last about 5 or 6 weeks, and the content is definitely a little watered down, so you won't be getting that same experience that you would be getting in school. But if you like really do need a credit to graduate, or some people like take PE over the summer so that they have more space for their other classes. So if you do want to do that, you can go to the Georgia Virtual School website and you can check that out.
Okay, thank you, Samika. That's a beautiful answer. So to add to that, GAFs and I know all the county virtual academies, they also virtual schools. They also like Fulton County, Forsyth County virtual school is there, and Cobb County virtual school is there. And like Samika told, the best courses to take during the summer are health and PE. You know, like maybe if you have 2 credits in Spanish, and you know, like you want to take AP Spanish the next year, so that summer maybe you can take Spanish 3. Okay, if you want to make a space for some other class during your senior year. Okay, and also sometimes, you know, like you know, like whatever, you know, like I'm going to say doesn't matter. Some of the kids go ahead and take math and science courses. Again, like Samika told, you won't be, really just you know, like watered down, and you won't be having, you know, like a lab experience, and you know, like only 5 weeks or 6 weeks to work on that class. So, or, you know, like the best thing is if you want to explore something different, not a AP level, then this is the best time to go ahead and explore that class during the summer.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Samika, for answering that question. The next question, we have 2 questions that someone put. Can we study Thumbel for a world language during high school?
Yes, we do. I think they give credit. If you graduate from your Tamil school, I'm sure you will get credit for your world language. You have to check with your Tamil school teachers, and you know, a lot of kids have done that. And can I ask? I think one of is it Ashwin? Not Ashwin.
Yeah, I did it. I got credit.
Jaishnav.
Yes, Jaishnav, you have done it. Can you share your experience with us, Jaishnav?
Yeah, so after completing 7th grade and doing the project there and stuff, I emailed the counselor asking if I would have I would get credit for that for Tamil school. So they actually gave me credit. They actually, since our Tamil school over here actually had that option to actually give credit, they gave me credit for that as a world language.
Wonderful. So you were not to take any other foreign languages at all, right?
I mean, no, I still took Spanish.
Okay. Yeah, that is out of interest, right? I mean, but you got the basic credits that you need. And yeah, the one thing to add to that is some of the colleges, they would ask for 3 years of language in high school or 4 years of language in high school. The examples that I have told you, Stanford and Harvard, you know, and this is just one example, you know, like there may be other colleges needing you know, like a different requirements. So, but definitely, yes, having Tamil, learning Tamil will get you credit in high school. Yeah, here Jaishnav is there.
Thank you, Auntie. Another question they asked is sports a mandatory extracurricular? Can we choose yoga or some other art instead?
Yoga, I'm not sure. As far as I have seen, it is not you know, under the fine arts category. Whatever is coming under the fine arts category, I haven't seen yoga under that. So maybe I may be wrong, because this is as far as I have checked last year, it was the case. So the best thing is to go and check Georgia DOE, Department of Education, high school courses. If you check that, you know, there'll be a big catalog. And when you check under the fine arts, you will be whatever courses you are seeing under the fine arts. So any arts, you know, like music and play So anything will count towards that. I am not sure about the yoga.
Okay. Adding on to Auntie, like Auntie said, you can choose like fine arts, visual arts. You can choose drawing in school if your school offers that. It doesn't have to be a sport. It just mainly depends on your interest. Okay. The next questions are a series of type of questions. It says we missed the previous sessions on GPA and transcripts. How is GPA calculated?
Okay, so the GP, okay, you know what? One of the students can take that. Can we have Advait or Neha, whoever, you guys want to take that question? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
No.
Okay, so the GPA, it starts from your 9th grade to 12th grade. The cumulative grade point average is calculated. That means all the courses, all the grades that you're going to get from 9th grade to 10th grade, all the courses grades will count. And some of the schools, like for example, I know for sure, Cobb County uses 4.0 grading scale. That means if you get a grade in a particular subject, you will be given 4 points. And if you get 80 to 89, then you will be given B. B grade means then you will get 3.0. So like that, the 4.0 scale works. And Fulton County, and I think Forsyth County also, right? I mean, they follow the numeric scale. That means out of 100, like they will, your GPA is, sometimes kids may get 96. Sometimes kids may get 101 or 104. I know kids who have got 108. Okay. And you may be surprised. Hey, how is that possible? So here is where the honors classes, the AP classes, and like IB courses that you take, that will play a role. The bonus points. So what happens is, if you get, for example, 96 in a particular class, and if this is an AP class, okay, or if it is an honors class, Fulton County awards 7 points on the top of it. Okay, so finally you will be ending up with a 103 on your transcript. Okay, so like that, if the students gather all the good grades, then of course they are going to end up in 101, 104, 108. So that is how they are getting. Also the GPAs are higher than 4.0, right? 4.5, 4.6. That is how they are getting it. So this is how it, so it differs from county to county. But when the colleges take that, the colleges, again, they use their own GPA calculator. Okay, so what they do is they will rip off your health, like PE courses, and sometimes they will take your electives also out of that, and they have their own GPA calculator. They will take in all your course, all your scores from your all your grades from your classes, and they will plug into their GPA calculator, and they will come up with a new GPA for you. Okay, so don't worry about that. All you have to worry is how it is calculated in your school. And the weighted means when you take honors, AP and the advanced classes, they, the extra weight that I mentioned, the 7 points or the 10 points. I think Gwinnett County adds 10 points, and the Cobb County adds 5.5 for honors classes and 1 point for AP and like IB courses. So how your school is going to calculate that? As soon as you enter the high school, please contact the counselor and try to educate yourself on that. Okay. Nikita, did I answer that question well? Do you have anything?
No, no. Thank you for answering this question. The next question is about choosing high school. Should we look for schools that have high ratings and competitiveness, or it doesn't matter?
Okay, this is a very good question. Very good question. So this is often the debate that we have. Like as a parent, I have gone through that. If our kids go to a well-reputed school, for example, without hesitation, I would say Gwinnett County, GMSC, right? they are #1 school in the state. Okay, so how about going to that school versus like going to Milton School, like in our county? How does it compare? So all I would say is never ever look into the brand, never ever look into the rating. Okay, whatever is your child's strength. Okay, for example, if your child is like very very passionate about science, okay, he or she is like very passionate about doing some research in science, and they show consistently some passion for science and math, then try to look for some like some magnet school that suit his or her need. Okay, or like for example, I know in Cobb County there are variable options available, like a Wheeler Magnet, like Cobb Innovation Academy. So you have an option. So every school has a different criteria. The thing is, please don't get caught up in that, like a big struggle. All you have to see is, how does my child prosper in the next step? Okay, how does my high school, for example, you always have a home school to go to. Okay, so if they are going even in middle school, how is your high school doing? Okay, are they doing good? Is the environment good? So is a neighborhood good? Okay, and will my child cherish in that particular environment? That is all you should like think about. And and every school has a different like application criteria and all those things. But please don't get caught up in that game at all. Just like a customize to your family, your kids' need. Okay, and again, and then the next question is, does it play a role in the college admission? I would say, so what the colleges will see is what the school your like a student has gone to. Okay, for example, if my son has gone to Milton High School, that's why I said they will see what the courses Milton High School is offering versus the classes my son has taken. Okay, so this is what they will see. For example, if like there are some schools where they are offering only 5 APs. You cannot go take more than 5 APs. That is the only thing they are offering in their school. Okay, still they get admission in Harvard, and people are coming and asking, how is it possible? Because your profile is completely unique. Okay, so that's what matters. Like with the courses that is offered in my school, how my son or daughter is taking advantage of that. And if they are not offered in the school, are they taking advantage of the virtual school? Right? So that those are the things you need to look into.
Thank you, Auntie. That was an awesome explanation. Next, there's a series of questions. Please bear with me.
Yes,
what are the requirements for medical colleges?
Okay. So what are the requirements for the medical college? Okay, so here in like states, it is not like like back in India. What we like the system that we have over there is, as soon as you are done with your 12th grade, you will immediately get into the medical college. Okay, so here so you need to take all the biology track, like all the science track, and you need to go there. Okay, and here like the requirement is that you need to get into a college, a 4-year bachelor, like a bachelor's program you need to do. Okay, and then only you need to apply to the medical college. Okay, so you cannot directly enter the medical college. That is one. Okay, and what are the courses that I can take to enter to the like the bachelor's college, where I can select my where from there I can select my medical school. For example, I will tell you. So the first option is, first path is, for example, you can get into UGA, okay, for the pre-med program. So what is a pre-med program? That means you can take any major like biology, you can take psychology, okay, you can take biomed, biochemistry, okay. So there are various options. For example, if you get into Georgia Tech, you can take neuroscience, biomedical engineering. So those are the courses. And in this, there are always odd cases, right? So there are kids who get into, English literature, like English and language arts, and they come for medical. But still, before you apply to the medical school, you need to finish your pre-med requirement. That means there are some couple of chemistry classes, organic chemistry, and like biology classes, and lab classes that you need to finish before you enter into the medical school. And you need to give your, like MCAT also as part of your, like the 4-year bachelor's program. Okay. So if you know well ahead that, like your son or daughter is especially interested in the medical track, then, like if they take biology and chemistry, like more geared more towards that, like they will find it, like very beneficial. And if you don't know, just go ahead and explore all the sciences like psychology, chemistry, physics, like explore all.
Thank you, Auntie. Another question regarding medical colleges is, when will we get to volunteer for medical pathways?
Medical pathways, when we get to volunteer. Okay, so some of the schools, like they have a specific career path. Is anyone on the panel taking that pre-med career path? Intro to healthcare. I think Neha was taking that, I suppose.
Yes, I am taking that.
Can you please answer that question? That would be appropriate.
So there's like about 3 courses you need to take before you can do internships, which are basically the volunteer opportunities at the end of your pathway. So first, for at least in my school, we had Intro to Healthcare, then Essentials of Healthcare, and then it splits into 2 paths. For Lambert, it was phlebotomy or biotech, and this year they have sports medicine. So you can choose one of those 3, and then at the end you can apply for internships.
Perfect. Neha.
Another question for you, Neha, is can you get scholarships, and how do you get them in medical?
I'm not really sure about that. I think Auntie can.
Yes, I can answer that. So scholarships, so directly we cannot apply for any medical scholarships. Okay. So like I said, we need to start with our 4-year bachelor's degree. Okay. So in that, for any scholarship, like there are a lot of websites like fastweb.com, and there are popular scholarship opportunities available, like through websites. Also, there are a lot of, scholarship opportunities that are coming through your counselor. When you get into the junior and senior year, your counselor and your school, college counseling center may be hosting some counseling sessions with the individual schools. For example, the representative from different colleges, like from Northwestern, from Georgia Tech, and from Harvard, Stanford, the representatives will be coming and meeting with you, and you get to ask questions to them, and they will tell you. And there are a lot of different types of scholarship, like academic-based scholarship, need-based scholarship, and alumni-based scholarship. This academic or merit-based scholarship, some of the schools, which have a good alumni network, and they, have plenty of fund available. And if you are a good student, your profile is looking good with, all the academic achievements and this and that, and they will give you, some merit scholarship. And this is kind of really rare. Okay. And again, all of us need to fill the FAFSA, financial aid, all the parents, and students in their senior year. Okay. And this opens on October 1st of their senior year. So go ahead and fill that up. Doesn't matter whether you'll be qualified and whether you'll be getting it or not. Go ahead and fill it up. You'll be definitely eligible for some amount, somehow. Okay. And if you don't, fall into that category, they have some cap, like 100, and you need to be, earning per annum, 120,000. If you are below that, then the college will meet your need. So there are a lot of financial helps available, in all schools. So the earlier, the better. So start looking for scholarship. Starting from your junior year, there are some opportunities which are available, as a freshman. So go ahead and talk to your counselor, because they get a lot of resources coming through them, and talk to them and try to, contact your, kids like Nika and Advait, all these kids who will soon graduate and they will soon enter college. Okay. So they know what is going on in their college, and they will be able to give you some tips about what is going on in this school. So it is like, it varies from college to college, but there are a lot of scholarships that are available, for our community. For example, for Indian community, this Indian American Cultural Association, they have a scholarship. Per year, they provide need-based scholarship as well as merit-based scholarship. They do that, as well as in the Hindu Temple of Atlanta, they do that also. I'm not sure whether our GATS is also might be doing that also. I'm sure Mr. Ramki can clarify that, or Mr. Swami can clarify that. And there are our community, lot of community associations which are giving scholarships to their students. Okay. Also, I know a lot of Bharatanatyam academies, they give scholarship to their students also. So just look out, be on the lookout for any type of scholarship opportunities that are coming on your way.
Okay, thank you. 2 more questions regarding medical. What GPA do you need to get into medical school, and how many credits do you need to have to graduate?
Okay, so for pre-med, so when you are in that, when you're doing your bachelor's degree, okay, most of the schools need you to keep a GPA of 3.8 and above. Okay, some of them, for some of the schools, like a tier 1 school, it's clearly a 4, 4 and above. Okay, and the requirements are, like I said, if you type in, pre-med, requisites, pre-med requirements, it is going to give you a list of courses, and all these courses, when you enter the college, you need to talk to your counselor, and you need to enroll yourself to all these classes, and you need to make it part of your 4-year plan. In these 4 years, you need to finish all these classes, and you need to maintain your GPA, and you need to give your MCAT. Mostly they take it during their junior year. Okay. Also, it's not a requirement, but it is advisable. If you can do some research, or you can publish a research project, or you are working as a research assistant under a professor, these all will add up. Okay. Also some service projects, also volunteering. So, everything will add up. Whatever extra that you do, again, academics is not the only thing, but it is also the number one thing. Okay. So GPA is number one. And apart from that, there are other things like you need to focus on, and you need to, strengthen your portfolio to get into the med schools.
Awesome. Thank you, Auntie. Another question is, what is the medical college acceptance process?
Medical college acceptance?
Yeah, what is the medical college acceptance process?
I'm sorry, is it the policy?
Yeah, like when you apply, what is the acceptance process for medical schools?
Okay, so it kind of differs from college to college. Okay, like we have for the undergrad. So for the medical schools also, there are tier 1 schools, tier 2 schools, and like safety schools, like that, it is there. So you need to go and find out, what is the requirement in that particular college, what kind of MCAT score that you should have. And so what are all the, profile that you should, that need to be included in your profile before you get into that school. Okay. What should be your GPA like? And, what kind of research project that you should be working on? So because, there are certain schools, which are very specialized in certain areas. Okay. So sometimes, it's more of research focused. So in those schools, like for example, Stanford, they will be asking, if you have a lot of research experience, on your profile, that'll be an add-on thing. One of my good friends, son, he has taken extra year, and he has, worked on a lab, to add his, to have a lot of experience on his research skills. Okay, so there is no one rule that applies to all the medical colleges. They all have different policies. Okay, so it's better to check with each college counselor to see what are their requirements.
Thank you, Auntie. Why do you have to do a college level course during high school?
That is a very good question. Any of the kids would like to answer this?
It shows colleges how you can handle pressure and how you're working alongside what college courses are going to be like. So if colleges see this and they see that you've done well in this course, that's really they're gonna take that into consideration, and that's gonna go a long way with them. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
One more thing to add to that. Sorry, Nikita. One more thing. So it's not only Advait has mentioned a great point. It's not only for that. Some of the kids are really well advanced. For example, one of my students, he has taken Algebra 1, the high school Algebra 1 in his 7th grade, and Algebra 2 in his 8th grade. And when he came to the 9th grade, he took a pre-calculus, and in the 10th grade, he took AP Calculus BC, and he was done with the math requirements. Okay, now he was passionate about math. He didn't know what to do. Then what is the next step? Next step is just go for the college level course. Okay, so your AP classes are done. Now go for that. So that time they will do the dual enrollment with Georgia Tech. Okay, so there they get to take the college level course. I think the first one is linear algebra. So they get to take it along with the college students, and this will be completely remote. Okay, this is a dual enrollment. So when the kids are, completely phenomenal, they are just way above, in that particular subject, then why not give them the opportunity? It's not only, just to prove yourself. It is just to, tell the kids, hey, when you are done with this, you can go for this. But again, no pressure. We don't have to push the kids, hey, he or she has taken it. You have to take this track too. Not everybody can do that, right? So when it is possible, so that is the next step to go. Why don't you do that? When you have a time slot available, go ahead and do that.
Thank you, Auntie. The last question is it worth attending a magnet school versus a regular school? What are the merits in attending a magnet school?
Okay. What is the merits of attending a magnet school? So again, if you ask me, it's completely family-based decision. Like I said, I know a good friend of mine's, my good friend of mine's son, he's very, very interested in robotics. You may not believe this. He was in his 4th grade and 5th grade. He was already doing, this Vex robots, and he was ready to jump into the FLL. So he was way beyond, what a 4th and 5th grader can do. So, so when they explored, for them, the next option is if their magnet school has a very good robotics program. Okay, so for them, that is the best option. Okay. So in the middle school also, he got into the robotics team. And when he got into the high school, for him, clearly the option was to get into the robotics team. Okay, that was his number one preference. Okay, so in that case, you need to prioritize. See, that's why we need to know what our kids are interested in. We may be, parents who are completely into coding. Okay, who are completely, you are a physician. But our kids may be, completely, different. They may be extremely interested in music, extremely interested in robotics. Then we need to find out which school has that, pathway for my son, and then go ahead. Visit your magnet school. I would say don't listen to anyone. Go ahead and, pay a visit to your magnet school as well as to your regular school, and talk to the teachers. Find out what are all the different things that you can get for your son or daughter's personal need, and then try to finalize. And in the college application, it doesn't matter. Definitely which school you go to. That's what, for example, I told you there were kids. There are still kids who got into Harvard and Stanford with the schools offering only 5 AP classes. Only 5 AP classes. Okay. So what makes a difference? They were completely unique. And these kids, I would say, then you would ask me, then what made them to stand unique in the application, process? The thing is, it's a family based. It's single mom, and the son, totally raise up himself. and then raised to the situation. And then he was working in multiple places. He was tutoring his own brothers and sisters. Okay, he didn't go anywhere to volunteer. He was helping his own family. Okay, he was supporting financially his own mother. And then he was exceptionally, he didn't, waste, any single moment. The colleges would like to see that. It is not like what is, what kind of non-profit organization I am, volunteering for. It is based on your personal need and whatever your family's requirement is. Are you raising up to the situation? That is what the colleges would like to see.
Awesome explanation. This concludes the Q&A session. Now I'll be handing over to Mr. Ramki for the ending.
1 second, Nikita. Okay, தேவி ரொம்ப சூப்பரா பண்ணீங்க. Thank you very much. பசங்களும் ரொம்ப நல்லா பண்ணாங்க. அத்வைத், ஜெய்ஷ்ணவ், நேஹா எல்லாருமே ரொம்ப நல்லா பண்ணாங்க. Thank you all. I think I will invite Ramki Anna to give the thanks note.
Thank you, Nikita. Thank you, Vatsala. எல்லாருக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க. இந்த சன்னி டே சண்டேவில் ஈவினிங்ல 2 மணி நேரம் உட்கார்ந்து இருந்து I hope all the kids you are all understand Tamil. So let me start with Tamil. If any one of you unable to understand, raise your hand. I will switch back to English. Okay. So இந்த 2 மணி நேரம் சன்னி டேவில் உட்கார்ந்து இருந்து உங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரிஞ்சதோ, உங்களுக்கு என்ன புரிஞ்சதோ அதை இங்க எடுத்து சொல்றீங்க பார்த்தீங்களா? இந்த கதை சொல்லும் நேரம் தான் வாழ்க்கையில எல்லாருக்குமே ரொம்ப முக்கியம். எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருந்தும் சொல்லாம இருந்தா அது என்னுடைய பயன் யாருக்கும் போய் சேராது. தெரிஞ்சது கொஞ்சமா இருந்தாலும் அது அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு புரியுற அளவுக்கு கொண்டு போறதுன்றது ஒரு பெரிய கிஃப்ட். ஸோ அப்சல்யூட்லி வெரி வெரி கிரேட் ஈவெண்ட். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும். எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல உங்க பெற்றோர்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய நன்றி. இந்த நேரத்துல உங்களை இவ்வளவு தூரம் இந்த ஒரு அமைப்புக்காக கொண்டு வந்திருந்து அவர்களுடைய கஷ்டத்தையும் உங்களுடைய புரிதலையும் கொண்டு வந்து இங்க எங்களுக்கு சேர்த்தது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. இதுல ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் டு தேவி. ஏன்னா உங்களை எல்லாரையும் உங்களுடைய ஃப்ரீக்வன்சிக்கு மேட்ச் ஆகிற மாதிரி கோஆர்டினேட் பண்ணி ஒர்க் பண்ணி ஆஸ் அ பேரண்டா எங்களுக்கு என்ன எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்றோம் அப்படின்றத ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்றதுக்கு இட் ரிக்வயர்ட் ஸ்பெஷல் ஸ்கில். அதை பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா எடுத்துட்டு வந்து இந்த சுச்சுவேஷன்ல எங்களுக்கு ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் டு தேவி. அண்ட் நிகிதா, ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் டு யூ. ஹோஸ்டிங் ஜாப் இஸ் நாட் ஈஸி டாஸ்க். நீங்க அதை பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா பண்ணீங்க. ஒவ்வொருத்தரையும் பேரை குறிப்பிட்டு அவங்க என்ன செய்யணுன்றதை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி ஆஸ் அடல்ட் அவங்க கேள்வி கேட்குற ஒவ்வொரு கேள்வியும் சீக்வன்ஸா மிஸ் பண்ணாம டைம் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் எல்லாரும் சொன்னீங்க. அதை பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா கொண்டு வந்தீங்க. ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் பேனலிஸ்ட். அதுல மெயினா நான் ஜஸ்ட் நேம் ரீட் பண்றேன், என் டைம் கருதி நான் குறைச்சலா சொல்லிக்கிறேன். நேகா, கீர்த்தனா, சமீகா, அத்வைத், ஜெய்ஷ்ணவா, அஸ்வின். எனக்கு என்ன தெரியும்னு சொல்றதே ஒரு பெரிய கிஃப்ட். எனக்கு இது தெரிஞ்சிருக்குன்னு சொல்றதை விட எனக்கு என்ன தெரியும்னு சொல்றதுலதான் பியூட்டியே இருக்கு. அதை பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா ஹேண்டில் பண்ணீங்க, பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா சொன்னீங்க. மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் யூ இதை நீங்க ஒரு ரொம்ப கேஷுவலா சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்டீங்க. இதெல்லாம் கேட்குற எங்களுக்கு புரியும் எவ்வளவு கஷ்டம் அப்படின்ட்டு. அது நீங்க சொல்ற விதம், அந்த ஸ்டோரி டெல்லிங் இட் இஸ் a real great impression for all of us. அதுதான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். நிறைய பேரண்ட்ஸ் எதிர்பார்க்கறது என்னன்னா, என்னுடைய குழந்தை எப்படி நான் இந்த மாதிரி செய்ய முடியும், எப்படி அந்த குழந்தை இது நீ சொல்றதை கேட்டு புரிஞ்சிக்க முடியும். என்னைக்குமே வீட்டுல இருக்கிறவங்க சொன்னா கேட்க மாட்டோம். அது ஏன் வெளியில இருக்கிறவங்க சொன்னா 2 காதையும் கொடுத்து கேட்போம். தட்ஸ் வாட் யூ டிட். உங்க 6 பேருக்கும் ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ். As a GATS, we are so grateful for all your work. உங்களுடைய ஒவ்வொரு மொமெண்ட்டும் உங்களுடைய எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸும் ஷேர் பண்ணதுக்கு ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ். above all, GATS ஓட எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் கமிட்டி, GATS ஓட யூத் கமிட்டிக்கு ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ். லாஸ்ட் நாட் லீஸ்ட், பூங்கொடி, வத்சலா, கோகுல் அண்ட் கிருத்திகா, அதர் எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் கமிட்டி மெம்பர்ஸ் யாரெல்லாம் இங்க இருக்கீங்களோ ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ். எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல நம்மள இவ்வளவு தூரம் இந்த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல கொண்டு வந்து உட்கார வச்ச ஒவ்வொரு வாலண்டியர்ஸ்க்கும் ஒவ்வொரு பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ். விஷ் யூ ஆல் தி வெரி பெஸ்ட். வாட் எவர் யூ ஆர் டூயிங், டூ இட் வித் யுவர் ஹார்ட்ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஹார்ட் ஒர்க். அது எத்தனை பேருக்கு சேர்ந்ததுன்றதை விட ஒருத்தருக்கு நான் கரெக்டா அதை டெலிவரி பண்ண அப்படின்றவர் ஆட்டிடியூடோட இன்னும் நல்லா சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா உங்க லைஃப்ல வரணும்னு கூறி இந்த ஒரு சூழ்நிலையில என்ன அழைத்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. உங்களை எல்லாரையும் இன்னொரு பெரிய பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ல இன்னொரு பெரிய லெவல்ல பார்க்கணுன்றது எங்களுடைய ஆசை. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச்.
தேங்க்யூங்க. ஒரு 1 மினிட் ஒரே ஒரு பிக்சர் மட்டும் கூகுள் எடுக்க போறாங்க. ஸோ ஐ திங்க் எல்லாருமே டர்ன் ஆன் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஜஸ்ட் அ மினிட். கூகுள் எடுத்துக்கலாமா?
எடுத்துடலாம்.
ஓ, ஒரு நிமிஷம். ஜெய்ஷ்ணா
ஜெய்ஷ்ணவாமா வீடியோ ஆன்
ஜெய்ஷ்ணா
பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
யா 1 மினிட் பா. யா ஷூர். ஜஸ்ட் தேங்க்யூ.
ஓகே. சீஸ்.
எடுத்துட்டீங்களா கோபால்?
எடுத்தாச்சு. சிறப்பு.
ஓகேங்க. ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க. எல்லா கிட்ஸுக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூ. ராமகிருஷ்ணன் அண்ணா உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூ. நீங்க ரொம்ப அழகா வந்து கரெக்டா வந்து கொடுத்துட்டீங்க. எஸ்பெஷலி தேங்க்ஸ் டு தேவி. நீங்க ரொம்ப பொறுமையா, அதுவும் எஸ்பெஷலி இவ்வளோ கொஸ்டின்ஸ்க்கும் ரொம்ப அழகா ஆன்சர் பண்ணீங்க. நம்ம டைம் வந்து நம்ம நினைச்ச டைம் மட்டும் தாண்டி போச்சு. அந்த அளவுக்கு கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ரொம்ப ஹாப்பி ஆக்சுவலி வந்துட்டுக்கா. எஸ்பெஷலி கிட்ஸ் அண்ட் நிகிதா, ஷி ஹேண்டில் இட் சூப்பர் வெல். எல்லா கிட்ஸ்க்கும் ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூல. ஆல்மோஸ்ட் மந்த் ஐ திங்க் நான் வந்து ஃப்ளையர் அனுப்பி எல்லாரையும் டார்ச்சர் பண்ணி எல்லாம் பண்ண. பட் வி டிட் இட் ஆக்சுவலி. ரொம்ப தேங்க்யூ. பூங்குடி அவங்க தான் அவங்களை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இங்கே கூட்டு வந்தாங்க. ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் டு பூங்குடி. ஸ்பெஷல் தேங்க்ஸ் டு சுவாமி. ஆக்சுவலி ஐ திங்க் ஹி இஸ் நாட் ஹியர், பட் he only made me to do this. So everyone, thank you.
Thank you all for the opportunity.
Great. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. And coordinate பண்ண வட்சலா உங்களுக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. அண்ட் தேவி உங்களுக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி. ஆக்சுவலி இவ்வளவு தூரம் நீங்க இந்த பிரசன்டேஷனை சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா முடிச்சு கொடுத்ததுக்கு. அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி கமிட்டில இருந்து கோகுல் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. ரொம்ப பொறுமையா இந்த 2-3 hours நீங்க எங்களுக்காக செஞ்சு கொடுத்தீங்க. ரொம்ப நன்றி. அண்ட் சேர்மன் அண்ணா, ராம்கி அண்ணா, உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். அண்ட் கேட்ஸ்
இதுல சேர்மன்ன்றது ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. எல்லாரும் நம்ம கொடுத்திருக்கிற வேலையை நம்ம செய்யறோம், அவ்வளவுதான்.
கண்டிப்பாங்க. இந்த தருணத்துல இவ்வளவு பிஸியான ஷெட்யூல்ல எங்களுக்காக டைம் ஒதுக்கி வந்ததுக்கு உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. அண்ட் இதுல நாங்க வந்து பிரசிடென்ட் சுவாமி ரொம்ப மிஸ் பண்றோம். ஸோ இருந்தாலும் அவருக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க. எல்லா கிட்ஸுக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ். அண்ட் பேரண்ட்ஸ், எஸ்பெஷலி பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. தேவி உங்களுக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க. தேங்க்யூ ஆல்.
தேங்க்யூ
கோகுல்.
கலந்துகிட்ட எல்லாருக்கும் நன்றி.